What's good, YouTube? Back again with another video. Today we have a gentleman by the name of Dwight Jackson who's suing a local Detroit hotel who only offered him a job after he changed his name on his resume. We're going to get into the video and I'm going to give him my reaction.
Have you ever considered what people assume about you when they see your name, just your name? Well, Dwight Jackson did, and now he's suing a hotel in Detroit. See, Dwight was applying for jobs. He says between January and April of this year, he applied to a few positions at the Shinola Hotel, but he didn't get a single call back.
Look, it's very real. When you have these certain names, these Shalandaliqua and Shanquatisa, all these crazy names, and you submit a resume, trust me, them things get thrown straight in the trash can. 100% facts, but let's continue.
And then he said, well, wait a minute, let me see something real quick. In April, he applied again, but this time he made a change to his resume, his name. Instead of Dwight Jackson, he became John Jabrowski. And within days,
So he changed his name from Dwight Jackson to John Jabrowski and immediately got a call several days later. Oh, man.
the phones start ringing. Shinola wanted John to come in for an interview. Now, the hotel issued a statement to CNN in response to the lawsuit. Here's part of it. We take this allegation very seriously and do not tolerate discrimination of any kind. We're committed to fostering an inclusive workplace where everyone has the opportunities to succeed and are dedicated to building a diverse workforce that reflects the community. With me now is Dwight Jackson and his attorney, John Marco. Welcome to you both. Dwight, let me start with you. This did not.
Let's pause real quick before we get into the interview for Mr. Jackson and his attorney. Like I said, it's very real, man. That's why it's very important. Like I said, I don't have children, but if I do decide to have children in the future, I'm going to give them a regular name, man. I'm not going to give them one of these crazy names that you can't pronounce. It's real. Like, nobody really wants to work with somebody and they have difficulty pronouncing your name. Like, I mean, I know it sounds jacked up, it sounds unfair, but ain't nobody trying to, every time Shonda Kalika, these crazy, I done seen some of the craziest names you ever heard of. Ain't nobody trying to work with that. So please, for the sake, when you having a child and you think of a name, please give them a chance. Give them a chance.
Not start as a test of the influence of name or racial identity on hiring. You were just looking for a job, right?
I was truly just looking for a job. A lot of people say it was a great experiment. I wasn't experimenting or purposely trying to catch them.
It definitely was a great experiment, unknowingly. Like I said, man, he really set this hotel up, and honestly, he's probably going to get paid. Like, this is an open and shut. Clearly, he was discriminated against. Same exact resume. The only thing he changed, literally, was his name. Honestly, and he literally got a call back 3-4 days later. It's an open and shut case.
I was just looking for a job, like you said. It was so much experience in the hotel industry and luxury hotels at that, historical hotels of downtown Detroit, and for me to not at least get a call back, one call back as Dwight Jackson, it made me a little disparaging of like why. So that's what just made me fill it out.
Well, brother, we already know why. The reason why you didn't get a call back because they knew Dwight Jackson was more likely than not a black person's name, and then when you switch it to John Jabrowski, that sounds more white. So that's why you got a call back when you switch the name. Come on, let's not play dumb.
John Jabrowski to see what kind of answers I get, and like you said, I ended up getting a call that same week.
And what did they say when they called back and they wanted to speak with John?
The HR lady called me. She said, "Hello, this is John." At first, I forgot that I even did it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am John." She liked me and liked the experience I had, and she just, sorry, my apologies. She also we did an interview the next time. She set up an interview for the next time for an over the phone interview. Then after that, we did an in-person interview. I ended up getting another call for another interview.
And so you got another call for another interview at the same hotel?
Yes.
Okay, so let me come back to that. John, let me come to you now. You say that you see a lot of this.
Amazing. Like I said, I'm not surprised at all. Like literally changing his name to a more, I mean, basically, we changed his name to a name that sounds more white, and he got more calls. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Like I said, this is a very common occurrence. Um, Even though Dwight Jackson, I wouldn't even say that's like a ghetto name or anything, but it's just obviously you could pretty much kind of presume that that person is probably black, and he definitely was discriminated against, and he's going to get paid. Shout out to this brother.
Yeah, I see this all the time. It's unfortunate. I've been doing civil rights my whole career. They're very tough cases because there's often circumstantial evidence, there's not direct proof. When a company discriminates, they don't come out and say it. And some of it's unconscious bias, some of it's conscious. But I've had cases where I've had a hiring manager say that the president of the company made a black pile of resumes and everybody else, and then taken the resumes that sound like they're black sounding names and throw them in the trash can. So this
Yep, happens all the time. I'm like I said, I'm not surprised at all with what this attorney is saying.
happens all the time. I think it's underreported.
Dwight, what did it feel like once you got a call back as John, but couldn't get a call back as Dwight Jackson?
It was very disparaging, honestly. It really did make me feel worthless. Like, welcome to America, like I always say when people ask me how to make me feel. Welcome to America, where people of our color have to work literally 5 times as hard to get to the same entry level doors as many other cultures. So it really made me just feel worthless, and like it's hard out here to get a step ahead just because my last name or my color or sexuality. It's a lot that goes with it.
And what did I assume you told them, Dwight, that I'm the same person, that Dwight Jackson you ignored and this John Jabrowski you have so much interest in were the same person with very little difference on the resume. What was that conversation like?
It was during the second interview. It was for the front desk agent, and I went in and I introduced myself as Dwight Jackson. Because if I wanted the job and you guys called me for my experience, and I'm still the same person. It should.
Like I said, on screen you see same exact resumes. The only thing that he literally changed was the name. That's it. That's all. Literally identical resumes. This company is done, man. He gonna get a nice payout. He's gonna get a nice payout, especially if this is made national news. He about to be on this Young Dolph. Get paid, Young. Get paid.
Should make a big difference. And she didn't question who I was, even though Dwight Jackson was not on the docket to be interviewed that day. She still brought up the John Jabrowski resume, so they were privy to it.
Wow. John, you touched on this a bit, but it's got to be hard to prove this case because, maybe there was a different person looking at the Dwight Jackson resume versus the John Jabrowski, or it might have been, it could have been anything. It's hard to prove in court that it was because of the name, right?
Yeah, generally, but in this case, we have the smoking gun. They're the only thing that was changed. These resumes were completely identical, the same experience. The only thing that changed was the name. So what's in a name? That should not be relevant when you're looking.
Yeah, this hotel, like I said, this hotel is done. There's no way they're walking around this one. Like I said, best thing they could do is try to settle this and make this go away quietly. Like I said, it's literally identical resumes. The only thing that's changed is the name. I mean, it's pretty clear cut.
For someone to work, it's your education experience and the content of your character, not the last name that you happen to be given at birth or the color of your skin.
And Dwight, they ultimately didn't offer the job to John Jabrowski or Dwight Jackson. What do you want to happen now?
I want to bring awareness to this situation because since I opened Pandora's box, I've been getting a lot of calls, emails, DMs, everything of people who been through the same situation, whether it was at another company or Shinola themselves. So that's really what I want to do is bring awareness. And unfortunately, we need bills to help people these type of things. It's unethical that you will have to go through this, but we have to bring awareness so it don't ever happen to again towards anyone else.
Yep, yeah.
We are learning that the former president has now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, this situation, especially with him being on CNN, is definitely going to shed more light and bring more awareness to something like this. Happens every day. This happens every day across America. Simply not getting a job, simply not getting a call back because of your name sounding a certain way. I mean, you know, it's sad that it happens, but definitely a reality. But let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever felt like you've been discriminated against because of your name, your skin color, or maybe you didn't get a call back because of your name sounding black? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.